Welcome in, everybody. It's a Friday, and it's the DNVR Rapids podcast presented by the homies at DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in America. Download the app. Use promo code DNVR at sign up. Welcome in, everybody. It's a Friday. It's a beautiful Friday here in the Mile High City. And I am joined by my lovely cohorts. Super producer Yahya, as always, mixing it up today. Look at this new layout, Yahya. You did great, bud.
Trying to give more of a visual presence to us.
Love
trying
it.
to feel the love.
Oh, I'm feeling the love, baby. You believe that. And of course, downtown Duane Brown.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday.
It's a Friday. How you guys feeling? You feeling good?
Feeling great.
A lot better than I expected.
That's pretty dope, dude. I like to hear that.
Amazing soccer this morning. What a
great game. Wow.
What a match. Croatia.
Luka Modric advancing to the
I hate
finals.
I hate every moment of it.
You hate that?
I hate that. I hate Luka Modric.
Oh, I love him. All right, guys. We got a nice little show for you today. We're going to talk Gyasi Zardes. We're going to talk a little roster construction. We're going to talk some World Cup. But first, of course, we have to dig in once again. We have to dig into it. Kevin Cabral, LA Galaxy DP, young French winger, traded yesterday for $1 million in GAM, split $600K this year, $400K next year. Galaxy will pay half of his salary for the remaining 3 years. And how are you guys feeling 24 hours later?
I feel the same way, basically. Not a lot has changed. I've talked myself a little bit more into this going to work out. But I'm still like, after I heard it was like 50-50 salary, it kind of helped me out a little bit.
Sure.
But for the most part, I'm still very skeptical of what's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Hey, shout out Mark in the comments. Modric rules, and he's right to be mad at you. Duane, how are you feeling 24 hours later?
I feel the same, man. Like, I don't know enough. So I'm just, I can be bummed about it. I can be excited about it and just wait and see what happens. And I'm still in a wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
I hope it's awesome. I hope this change of scenery just, flips the switch, whatever that is. Hopefully Colorado is a better place for him than LA, and it just turns into a awesome surprise for us. So we shall see, but I'm hopeful.
All right. I mean, hopeful's good. I like when things work out more than when they don't. So, look, I mean, the half the salary thing, he's still the most expensive winger on the roster by over 100K.
Yeah.
Even with half his salary being taken care of. So, it's palatable. It's still kind of crazy to be paying him that much. But when you consider the assets that Galaxy poured into him, if he reaches the potential that the Galaxy valued him at the price the Pids are paying for him. All right. Yeah. 800K. Not bad. Million GAM split in half, basically. Not bad. Yeah, it's just kind of meh. And it kind of goes to my point from yesterday from our last show, which was what problem does this solve? Because to me, the problem with the wingers last year was a complete lack of production, right?
Yeah.
Sam Nicholson comes in midsummer, not like the Scary Movie, but the actual window. And he gets 1 goal, no assists. Yahya he found a goal there late towards ACL. Lewis missed a lot of goals he could have had. Low assist totals. Mikey B, low goals, decent assist totals. But the problem was just overall production, right? And this guy hasn't screamed that. And I'm wondering this is a full potential play, right?
It is. It really is. And them only having to pay a million in GAM compared to the Galaxy that had to pay $6 million in actual money.
Sure.
Makes this a lot sweeter. And how you said, it's a full potential move. And we've already kind of talked about it yesterday in our instant reactions that he can slot in different places all over the forward squad. So my question now is, are they going to utilize him correctly, or is
Sure.
is the change of scenery going to help him out, or is it just he doesn't have that potential anymore and it was all kind of a lot of hype from the European League?
Right. Duane, you seem the highest of us on this move. Or at least the most optimistic that the best case scenario will be the scenario that plays out. Okay, I guess I'm going to frame it like this. The thing I saw the most when going through like the Galaxy subreddit, the Rapids subreddit, Twitter, just kind of scrolling through like the Bogart quote tweets and comments and all that stuff, is all the positives I saw was this guy can run. This guy is fit. He can run for days. And that is when this offense was at its best, was when Mikey was getting up to full speed with the ball at his feet, when Lewis was getting the ball up to full speed at his feet on the wings, either creating fouls and free kicks or getting some dangerous stuff going in the box or just behind the box with Rubio. Do you envision him just slotting in right there across from Lewis, across from Mikey? Do you want him to be a super sub? I mean, what's your initial, like, how do you want him to fit in initially? I think Duane froze on us.
Did he freeze?
Unless he's just really good at standing still like a statue.
Yeah, I mean, Duane does have that in him. I feel like there's something Duane would do, just kind of stand still for a while. But, I mean...
All right, fine. Same question to you, Yahya. Go for it.
To me, I'm picturing him more as a striker.
Okay.
That's where he was the most productive, in my opinion. That's where if you look at the advanced stats, that's where he was able to really make a mark.
There he is.
And I'll now let Duane take over.
Duane, did you hear any of that?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh, all right. Keep going, Yahya. He'll catch up.
So
I can't catch up.
Just stay very still again, and Duane won't figure it out. I think as a striker is the way that I would put him. I really like the runs he makes, especially with Rubio. I feel like they're gonna really play well off together.
Sure.
I feel like if you also have so much more talent in the wings, and you got to get your best 11 out there.
Sure.
I feel like you can't take Jonathan Lewis out after the year he had creating chances. He wasn't great at finishing them, but he was really good at creating them. Sure. Same thing with Rubio. You can't take him out. He's your star player. Keep him at the 10. Don't move him out of that striker position. He's proven to be an elite player in that position. And on the right wing, now you got options in Cabral and you have options with Gavon, but you really want to give Gavon a little chance to get back in rhythm, play a little bit more. And I think that's where you put him. You put Gavon out in the wing, hide him a little bit, and then depending how the year goes, maybe put him back at the 10, move him around. And I think Cabral would be the perfect person at the 9, because he makes those runs I was talking about. He seems to be a poacher. He has finishing problems, but maybe with this team he can figure that out.
That would be the hope, right? Because this team, if it needs anything, it needs goals. That's the defense gave up a lot. They had some glaring mistakes, but I think overall, if you look back at last season, the theme to me was just they couldn't score. It was 2 goals max. If the other team scored 3, you knew it was a loss. You knew it was no points on the day.
Yeah, basically. This team does not lack goal scoring, in my opinion. I thought they were a lot better last year than usual. They lack defense, but having another guy that can make the runs and put the opposing defense on the back foot is going to help the defense out a lot, because they're not going to have to be worried all the time that it's going to be a quick counter. If you're always on the offensive, there's not going to be any as many defensive issues as there were last year.
This is a good question from Joseph, and I'll let Duane start, because I think the answer is relatively obvious, but maybe he has somebody in mind.
Rubio?
I mean, that's not a terrible choice. That's not, I mean, honestly, yeah.
I mean, tied the club record, so.
I mean, posted career high.
I don't know that I could see anybody else, but that was a very easy.
That was cheeky, is what it was. You're a cheeky boy. A real cheeky boy. No, okay, I mean, look, now, you're, and we'll get into Zardes too in a little bit, but if he's gone, now you're really either banking on Bassett filling in goals, which like he underperforms XG.
There's a reason he's called
quite a bit,
Bassett,
right? It's Kevin. We just signed the French Sam Nicholson.
Kevin, do not put that evil on him. Do not put that evil on him. No offense to Sam, but no, he is not.
If Kevin didn't just sum up my feelings on this trade in one sentence, that's just where I'm stuck on it, man. God, and look, you had a good point yesterday, yeah, and I'll tip my hat to that point. Is that if this is the move, not a great offseason. If it's a move, right? If it's supplemental to a goal scorer coming in at the 9, if we load up the center back position like you need, if you find a really impact left back, big ifs, obviously, all these are ifs. But if he is just a small part of that, okay, I can buy into some potential on, a young guy with potential and physical tools. Oh, but man, that's a tough sell, Duane. It's a really, really, really tough sell to me.
I see it as medium risk, high reward.
Okay.
I mean, if I had to narrow it down to one thing, like that's it. It's medium risk, high reward.
Is that how you feel there, Yaya?
Yeah, I think it's high risk because if this is your offensive move, that's a very big risk you're taking.
Yeah. So you somehow found someone with a worse XG differential than Lewis. Like, hey, we need to fix this problem with finishing on the wing, and you found someone who actually finishes somehow worse.
And it's like that's the problem, right? You needed wing help. If you put a wing and he's your winger instead of your striker, it's like, all right, you're replacing a pumpkin with a squatch. It's the same thing, just looks different, right? Like you're not gonna get a much better.
What an autumnal hyperbole you just used there, my guy. I love that.
But that's how it feels, right? It's like you replace your Honda CRV with the Honda Civic. Very similar, gonna do the same things, but it's not gonna change a lot of what's going on.
Sure.
So that's why it's really high risk because your wingers are struggling so much. And if they didn't struggle as much, this would be just kind of high reward, low risk. But because there's already been issues in that position, it feels like it's a pretty big risk.
So, okay, so if we're saying, if you're looking at, I think there's a clear top 3 on the wing, especially with Yaya, not being involved for most to all of next season, right? It's clear top 3. Lewis, Rubio, and Cabral, right?
Yeah.
One of those needs to be the super sub, right? To me, the most sense is Cabral, being that he's a little more multi-positional than either one of those two guys, right? Like those guys are strictly wings. He can kind of drift either wing, get into the middle a little bit if he needs to. But then again, if it's ideal for your most expensive offensive weapon on the outside to come in as a bench guy, it just all comes back to me that like, it just feels like a mismanagement of the money. It feels like you could have found the same level of potential with the same production for a 10th of the price. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
I'm really curious what Duane thinks because Duane is super high on him. Like,
yeah, I'm not super high. It's just that I'm worn out on the woe is me. Nothing the Rapids do is great. I just, I don't know. Everybody's down because last season sucked, and it's very easy to forget about all the injuries and everything else and just say this club sucks. And I just don't agree with that. Like, I think this club is better than we were last year. I think we had a lot of issues that were out of our control, and I think a lot of those are going to be shored up this year just with health and fitness. And I think it's going to be a difference. I think the floor is going to be much higher this year than it was last year, just based on healthiness. And so, you know, we're crapping on all these roster decisions when we don't know what this roster looks like at full strength yet. So there's a lot of interchangeable pieces. The tape on Cabral is pretty bad.
Yes.
He's had 2 years.
Well, the MLS tape is really bad.
Yes.
The rest of it's
2
decent.
years of pretty bad soccer. And then years that were good before that. So, you know, those bad years were very much locked into LA. There's a lot of competition at those positions in LA that he's not going to get that kind of time or attention.
Sure.
We typically do a pretty good job with younger players. So, you know, I'm just not ready to like throw it all in the toilet. Like, you know,
Sure.
like I think we've seen the Rapids do a good job with some younger players. And I'm hoping that this is going to be another one of those. You know, like I don't know. I'm just hopeful for it. So you know, it's like you know what Kevin's saying, like Galvan healthy, Price healthy, that's huge for us.
No, you're right.
That changes last year. That's a 180 for last year. So, you know, I don't know if we don't have to like focus on like trying to fix all of these holes on a sinking ship like we did last year, and we just have a healthy ship, and then we get to focus on, all right, where's the best place for Cabral and how do we develop him and get him back to where he was before Galaxy? Then, dude, this could be awesome, you know, with Rubio staying at the same level. I mean, I don't know. I'm just hopeful for it. I'm not ready to throw it all in the toilet. Like, I think we start out at a much higher floor this season than we did last season. So that's where I'm hopeful for it. I mean, the tape is the tape. But I don't know. It's December, man. So, you know, we haven't seen
time to be hopeful
for this club all back together in one piece. So I'm going to err on the side of hopefulness on it.
If there are two cases, two walking embodiments of positive regression is due, it's Jonathan Lewis and it's Kevin Cabral, right? So maybe that happens next year.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe it doesn't. I believe in positive regression at a certain point.
And there is there's this bad play that he had with Galaxy where he ran. He made the perfect run, and Jovic, I think, from Galaxy passed it perfectly, and he overran the ball.
Right.
The negative is that he overran the ball and he wasn't able to shoot when 1-1 with the goalie. But the positive is that he made that good run. How much of him overrunning that ball is him overthinking
I think
about what everybody's already saying? You know what I mean?
He seems in his head.
Yeah, so I feel like smaller market, not as much pressure could be really beneficial for
less to do as a millionaire in Denver than in Los Angeles.
You're 3 times a millionaire if you were here than if you were in Los Angeles.
You know, you're just chilling here, man. You're not doing much. Not compared to LA. There's less distractions for a rich guy.
You can't ski or snowboard because of your contract probably tells you that you can't, because you can't get injured and shit like that. So
he's just hanging. All right. You know, any final thoughts? Anybody have one more take they want to get off on our guy Cabral there?
Cabral, a comeback player of the year.
What? TikTok that for sure. Throw that on the TikTok, dude.
And then tag the LA Galaxy.
Wow, comeback player of the year. Thanks for paying half his salary, chumps. Oh, Duane's chunking out over there. All right, we're gonna jump into the Zardes talk.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're good. Don't worry about it. We're gonna jump in.
Your internet's so much better than mine, Mitch. We're in the same building.
I'm not going to tell you. No, I might. Hang on. All right, but we're gonna jump into Zardes talk. But first, we got to talk about the homies. Game time, dude. Bam, bam, bam. Game time is the hottest new ticketing site. Makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concert, and shows. Have you ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought you could? 50-yard line? I bet you could get 50-yard line tickets for the Broncos for so cheap this weekend on Game Time.
They're probably paying you to go and see that game.
Courtside, I bet you courtside's pretty expensive for the Nugs because you can sit next to Sierra and Russell Wilson. behind home plate, not for a while, but you could probably find some tickets on there. 4 seats at a concert. There's some good concerts coming up. There's always a good concert going on in Denver.
Sure.
It's all possible with the Game Time app. Biggest last minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy. You won't find a better deal this season on Nuggets tickets or Avs tickets than on Game Time. It is created by the fans for the fans, and it guarantees the lowest price. If you love DNVR, you'll love Game Time. Best way to support us, me, Yaya, Duane, DNVR, is by buying your tickets through the link in the show description on the YouTube page. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats to all your favorite events. We also got to talk about the homies at Denver Health Medical. It is open enrollment time for individual health plans now through January 15th. Denver Health Medical Plans offers Elevate Exchange plans available on Connect for Health Marketplace with great benefits and affordable plan choices. You can also call direct at 303-602-4912 and sign up online at denverhealthmedicalplan.org. Elevate Exchange plans have options for individuals and families looking for cost-effective, quality health insurance. For those who might not get coverage through their employer or who might be self-employed and need to get coverage. All Elevate Exchange plans include adult dental and vision at no cost. Take care of your eyeballs, take care of your teeth. It's important. Plus, this year we offer lower monthly premiums than any plan currently available on the marketplace. So we've added new mental health benefits for your regular copay. Go online, give a call, 303-602-4912. Plan members have options to receive care at any of our 10 family health centers in the Denver area or the main hospital outpatient medical center at Denver Health. Additionally, this year we added a new virtual mental health option called Elevate Mind. It's available 24/7 at the cost of a normal copay. Great for those who need a convenient resource for mental health. We are an NCQA accredited health plan, which means we have higher standard of quality of care. Open enrollment for the exchange runs November 1st to January 15th. That's right now. Enroll by December 15th. That's next week. To have your coverage begin on January 1st, 2023. Call today, 303-602-4912, or visit www.denverhealthmedicalplan.org. Shout out to Denver Health.
Big Denver Health fans, as you guys know.
Big time. Absolutely. Big time. All right, let's get into it. Gyasi Zardes. There was a little tiny bit of smoke a few weeks ago that he was going to Austin. All right, hold on. Joseph just dropped something that's probably smarter than anything I've already said this podcast. Pull it up. He's a top 5 goals per 90 forward in MLS when the Rapids got him. Finishing was not an issue for Cabral, Lewis, and others. Meeting XG has been hard. Not convinced Frazier can coach that out. And I don't know if we should expect Frazier to coach that out. He was a all-league center back. Yes, there are some good coaches on the roster, but that is obviously not his niche. That is not what he is known for. That is not necessarily what you hire him for. Hopefully they can find some offensive coaching to close that XG gap, because all XG says and all XG differential says is that you can work your way into these good positions, but you can't finish. And that is the worst stat to me of any team when you extend that over an entire season. And it's just disappointing, like it was for the Pids.
Also, look at Zardes. As we're talking about Zardes, Zardes came in with only 1 goal for the Rapids in the season, and then he ended up with 9 for the Rapids.
Yeah.
Also, math and statistics suck. So
that's not true.
So
they're not fun, but
that is quite the take.
no one enjoys math.
Math is fine.
It's
it's terrible.
What is name one thing math has ever done for any of us?
Put us on this podcast.
No.
How do you think we're live to the people? You think this is done by magical fairy dust?
Yeah, why?
Honestly, I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I'm just a guy with a microphone and an internet connection, my guy. Okay. There was smoke earlier. I think I even quote tweeted and said, I'm going to wait for somebody not called Austin Fan TV or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it does seem to be that Gyasi Zardes will be rocking the Verde down in Austin, which from their perspective, and I don't know if you guys have a take on this, from their perspective, man, I kind of really love the fit. Like a lot. Like you have
right.
You could start him too, because you just have guys that can just bomb the goal and just have him clean up in the middle like he's best at. Like he is. It seems like such a good fit to me. And I don't know, once you have to see the contract, you have to see how much money they're spending, where he slots in, et cetera, et cetera. Austin is like a clear candidate to regress out of the playoffs just because of the way the MLS works and the playoff teams turn over year to year. But first impressions are, one, it sucks that he's gone because I don't see the Rapids finding someone as good or better. And two, good move for them. What do you think, Yaya?
Oh man. Again, I was really hyped when Gyasi got here. Then I kind of cooled down a little bit when he started off slow, and he really came into his own the more the season went on.
Oh yeah.
Given I think one more year would have been like they're all blended into get exactly like that chemistry would have built perfectly. I think it's a great move for Austin. But you kind of saw the writing on the wall when Cabral came in, and that the amount of money he came in for, not even the GAM, but also the salary, that's kind of what Gyasi was making last year. You're kind of giving that salary to Cabral now. Ugh. And I'm happy for Gyasi because I think he has a lot of family out there, right?
Yeah, well, his family, yeah, I think he is. I think he has Texas ties. So
yeah, it is what it is. I mean, happy for Gyasi. Sucks for the Rapids.
Talk about a fun atmosphere. You add a goal scorer in there with like name recognition. Austin, like those games are already awesome. You just throw in a guy like Gyasi, so recognizable. So many fans know who he is without being MLS fans. I don't know. That's pretty cool to me.
Is DeRusi gone too? Probably. That might be the guy. That might be.
I don't think so. I think that playing together is.
Well, there's rumors that Europe is calling again.
Oh, of course. It should.
If he's gone, that's kind of a downside for Zardes, but.
Duane, if you were writing the eulogy for Zardes' time here with the Pids, is it positive, negative? What are your lasting impressions of how he fit into the club and his performances?
Man,
I hope you're not saying this on the dais as you're giving the eulogy.
What can I say about my good friend Gyasi?
Oh, jeez.
Maybe. Golly.
He died in vain.
Zardes.
What can I say about a guy that I really don't like?
He was a soccer player. I don't know. Maybe gone too soon.
I think gone too soon.
Yeah, that
was probably the right thing. I've always said I think it's the money thing. But then you look at what we just did, and that's also a lot of money. So I don't know. Maybe Zardes wanted to be somewhere else. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, probably gone too soon.
I feel like we're all on the same page with this Gyasi. It's like, I don't know. It's like he was here, he left. Like it was a striker. He did decent.
You guys heard about math?
Math before? Yo, quick news drop. Look it. UC Health is now a sponsor of the Rapids.
Hey, but we like Denver Health. Obviously.
Yeah, I'm certainly going to miss him. Gone but not forgotten.
Sure.
All of those things that we put on T-shirts.
RIP 2022.
Yeah. Half a season he put up, almost double digits, and that's. I think that those numbers were only going to go up this year. So
I agree with that.
That's a bummer, for sure. But it's we don't make those decisions. We got the club we got, and so
let's
see what happens.
You look at this roster, man, and it's just there's a big fat hole at the 9, right? Like
plus size hole, plus
like
size.
14 maybe.
You do need like Yappy, love him, high on him. He's absolutely not ready to start as a 9, and you need a big physical guy. We've talked about it here. We've talked about it with Joseph. Joseph's brought it up a bunch through his writing. He thrives next to a big physical target, whether it's in front of him, can run in with him. I don't think Cabral is going to fit that profile. Hasn't shown it yet at any of his stops. He's been fully outside at any of his stops, has drifted in when needed, but you need a guy that is fully ready to be that guy. And You need to now kind of scrape the bargain bin, right? Do you have any names, Yaya? I know you want Yul Brenner for sure. That's your dude.
Yeah,
but
Brenner's not
unlikely.
leaving anymore after
unlikely.
The resurgence he had.
If it was last winter, like you said, yeah.
Yeah, I thought Brenner would have been the perfect choice. I have like a dream target, which would be like Brandon Vazquez, which you have talked about before.
Again, impossible.
Super unrealistic.
Yeah.
But I think the way to go, it's going to be either Ole Kamara or Will Bruin.
Yes.
Bring in one of those two guys, a veteran that can.
Who was your second one?
Will Bruin.
Yeah. Okay.
Bring in.
Interesting.
They're just veterans. They've shown in the past that they can be productive.
I would love Ole Kamara.
I would not be sad about Kamara.
Yeah.
Not at all.
He has swagger too, which is kind of cool.
Fell off a little bit last year. 19 goals the year before. I'd be into it. Why not? It's a similar move to Gyasi, right? Like,
yeah,
it's basically the Gyasi move.
Yeah,
with a little less profile.
Got the extra payment to Columbus.
Well, Ole Kamara is a headache, but it's also you need talent. If your team is not strong enough to handle a headache or get through that player, maybe you just need a little bit more talent.
The bar just erupted.
And you're not committing.
I don't know what happened.
Argentina just scored.
They did just score. Who was it? Was it Matt?
And it was an Argentinian.
Oh, nice. Good call.
I can see a bunch of players hugging in the corners. I couldn't even tell who it was.
I agree with Joseph here. Basically, I think he sums it up best. You can just kind of roll through veteran strikers until you think Yappy's ready to be the guy.
Yeah.
But you need to commit to more than, I don't know, the 7 minutes a game he was getting. You know, he needs to be more of a 20-minute a game guy. Needs to start. Well, here's what they really need to do. And this gets into its whole other thing. They need tournament games. They need cup games. They need these extra matches where you can throw him in as a starter when you need it to really see what you have. Because right now, I don't feel comfortable throwing Yappy in on a critical Saturday, right? Like, give me a cup match. Give me 2 or 3 cup wins, which I know is dreaming because
there's going to be a lot of tournaments for the Rapids. There's 2 tournaments at least for the Rapids this year.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, this, and this gets into a whole nother thing. But if you roll out those extra games where you say, all right, Yappy, you get 70 minutes, you get 80 minutes, you get 90 minutes. Let's go. Let's see what you can do. I think to me, that's your best case scenario for developing him, which means you can kind of troll through the league. Okay, who's kind of out of favor? Who's now their backup that was once a starter? Who wants to come in and kind of poach some goals, be in front of Diego, learn to play off of him, kind of help develop this young athletic wing, be a finisher, be a big target. I don't know. I really like it. I yes. Bit of a head case, but Ole Kamara I think would be a pretty good grab at this point.
I'm all for it. I wanted him him last year before we got Gyasi, and I thought he was going to be a great player in that system, and unfortunately it didn't happen. I'm all here again. It's all about the Yappy train from now on.
Hey, pull up dev machines, because that's exactly my thoughts too. Every year it's a fucking MLS team, right? Last year it was Minnesota. God damn it, we couldn't get like a freaking New Mexico, although I guess we don't want New Mexico after what happened in that one game. But you can't like give me San Diego, give me somebody, like, God, and make it a home game.
And what's another player that I really wanted? Corey Burke.
Who?
The Jamaican Corey Burke.
Oh, I don't mind that. Yeah.
He just signed somewhere, I think, New York Red Bulls. But that hit 2 weeks ago. But that was another name that I think the Rapids should have been in on.
Interesting.
I thought that would have been he was the backup at the Union. So I think those are names that, like, you got to look at the distraught assets that other teams have, how the Rapids have in the past. But I think they have to stop going for the young potential talent and start going for the veteran that's out of sorts right now. Kind of like the Gyasi way.
Distressed Assets FC. That is the Colorado Rapids.
Or Island. What's it called?
Island of Misfit Toys.
Island of Misfit Toys Rapids.
Okay, so we're talking. So that's kind of the striker situation. I don't know if there's much to say until we can kind of see a bit more of a direction with where the team's headed. Looking back at the defense, we know there's a hole at left back. And we know that improvement at center back is needed, is necessary. We have 6 open slots left on the senior roster, 1 spot left on the supplemental roster. So 7 players total they can still bring in. But one thing they can kind of factor into the equation is there's 4 center backs on the roster right now with Gus and, well, at least 4 ones that I consider can be in the rotation. Gus, Lawless, D-Will, and Abubakar Keita, who is back and training at the stadium. He is here. He was in Columbus after the ACL tear, but he is here early on in the season. And I still like the ceiling. You know, I like the bit of tape that we have on him. I still think he can kind of be a nice athletic, just kind of little different than what we saw all last year. Love Lawless, love Wilson, but they're kind of stiffs. Yeah. Although I say that, and Lawless was like a goal scoring machine compared to the rest of the roster. So
Lawless is also physical.
But just in a different way. Just in a different way. Man, Callens though, B-Ray, I'm with you on Callens, and I know that Duane is all in on Callens.
It's just not going to happen, unfortunately, because he's the top price this free agency. Yep. He's what everybody's looking to get.
Long's going to make the most money of anybody. I think Long signs the biggest deal of any.
I think Long has gone to LA though. He's an LA boy. Mm-hmm. He loves all the sprinkle and the lights. But the way the Rapids, and again, Joseph brings in a great point. What if you just give CB minutes to Chacon? I think Daniel Chacon, I think that he's only on a Rapids 2 contract. So I think
you could loan to you can loan up to the supplemental roster and take that last slot, right?
Exactly. I think so. So I think that would have to be the move there.
I don't mind that at all. I mean, I want to see Chacon minutes.
That's what I was thinking too, and it's cool because you could also play the midfield if needed. Like, if you need
Julio chimes in late. Look at this.
Cabral and if he's this the year. Okay, Julio, we talked about that shit 20 minutes ago, my guy. Get with the program, Julio. Come on.
Love it. Classic Julio.
And again, Chacon being on a Rapids 2, it's not because the Rapids didn't want him. It's just because Rapids 2, it is its own entity, its own organization. Sure. And that GM, which we talked to, I forgot, Kirkman, looked at him, and he's the one that scattered him and brought him onto the Rapids organization. It wasn't a Pori thing; it was a Kirkman thing.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Man, Kirkman's really good. I like his style. I think he's kind of done everything in the soccer world. I think he's going to fill out that roster really well and supplement what P's doing up top. Dangerous free kick. Nothing. Sorry.
I was watching it over here too.
Look, I think last thing, left back. I saw some stuff floating around the internet, some suggestions, and I think it may have even started with Fleming, but Galvan playing back left back.
He's done it before. It wouldn't be new.
I'm curious what the chat thinks about, and also what you guys would think about kind of just filling that in-house and it would also kind of lighten up that front heavy roster right now on the up top and kind of shift him back and still have speed and playmaking like they like from that left back spot.
It's a move. You get your best 11 out there. Yeah. We did see whenever Estevez pushed up with Lewis kind of became invisible.
Sure.
So are you sacrificing Lewis for Galvan this year instead of Estevez for Lewis?
Yeah.
So I'd rather get an actual left back that's more defensively sound. I think the move's actually going to go and bring somebody from outside of the country. I think they're going to look at maybe
find another Brazilian.
Maybe not a Brazilian. Maybe
that's maybe the pork special, dude.
That is the pork special, but maybe they've had a lot of success out there in the South American clubs. For center back, one name I want to throw out for center back that I love would be Hector Moreno out of Monterrey. Just came back from the World Cup. Yeah, I like him. Callens, of course, is the guy. Mavinga from Toronto would be another name to throw out there. Left back,
I like
kind of just like Brad Smith, maybe somebody we don't know about down south that they've talked to.
Yeah, I don't mind on that. I don't mind that at all. Honestly, why not? Try something. I don't care. You found Lucas. I liked Lucas. The terms of the deal were obviously excessive to the point that you couldn't keep him just because it would have been too expensive. Which, like, okay, I kind of wanted that, this is kind of going a little bit off of topic, but like, okay, so if you had signed Gyasi to the deal we would have expected had he been staying, right? Too expensive.
Yeah.
Can't do it, right? You find Lucas, but terms of the deal, too expensive, right? Why is Poor getting into these deals that are so heavy on the back end that it prevents you from retaining the asset? You still spend the money to acquire, but then it limits your future potential with them. Why does he just disappear?
I think he expects the player to be worth more at that point and have like a bargain by the time he signs him. Give it another year and then he can sell it and make that money back. I think that's what he thinks, and I think Lucas just didn't develop into what he wanted, and I think Gyasi didn't develop into what he expected.
I mean, 9 goals in half a season, you'd hope that was good enough, but
Look, man, I'm not.
No, I know.
I'm not that guy. I know.
No,
I know.
I don't understand why. Everyone. He's kind of like the trade wizard of the MLS because of the difficulty in just getting free agents to sign the dotted line, and yet these deals end up so backloaded and such with crazy financial commitments that you kind of just burn a bunch of money. I don't know. It's a weird thing I'm noticing, and maybe it's just those, maybe it's just a couple deals and that kind of goes away, but I'm not loving those terms, and I really hope we don't see those terms pop up over this, this window, summer window, and you're kind of screwed with an asset that does fit, I like Joseph's idea too on Kamar Lawrence. I think that's a good call.
I think honestly, not just for like talent wise, but I think also for fans in the stands, I think the way to go is go get a big name. Go get somebody on a national level.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
I agree. Duane, any final thoughts on the state of the roster there?
I don't know. I mean, that left back and center back are really what, we've been talking a lot about offense because of the trade this week, but last season were some major worries on that back line. So that's where I would like to see the next move being made, is to bring out help at, center back or left back at this point. Either way, I would be encouraged by both.
Sure.
But obviously I would put left back as main priority. Because I don't want to plug that hole with Galvan either. Like that's a Band-Aid on an actual injury. So I don't want to see that as the solve.
All right, well, let's get into some World Cup talk. After all, we are DNVR World Cup for the next couple weeks. But before that, let's talk about the homies at Illegal Pete's. Illegal Pete's is back, dude. Let's go. They are the presenting sponsor of our Nuggets takeovers, and they're back. They're right down the street from us. We love going down there for lunch all the time. We are hyped to be teaming up with local legends Illegal Pete's. Here at DNVR, Illegal Pete's is always our go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. Can't beat the endless option of fresh ingredients and strongest margaritas around. Stop by one of their 12 locations throughout Colorado and Arizona for happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. every day. The holiday season is more enjoyable with a piping hot cup of queso. And nothing warms you up quite like a margarita. Legal Pizza is hooking you up with a little something extra this year. Spend $100 on gift cards and score an extra $25 in gift cards for free. Wishing you a happy holidays from Illegal Pete's, where good friends gather. We are also need to shout out the homies at Green Mountain Dental Group. The most rewarding thing about DNVR is seeing the connections made through our listeners in this community. Green Mountain Dental is an OG partner of ours and major Colorado sports fans. I think Green Mountain Dental Group's been around since the BSN days. I mean, these guys are like, they've been in it.
They're OGs for sure.
They are all the way back. They've been a supporter of DNVR since the very beginning. We've had countless fans and our own staff convert to Green Mountain Dental and never look back. Located just 15 minutes from downtown Denver in Lakewood, CSU alum Dr. Ben and his team have you covered from general dentistry like regular cleanings, orthodontics, such as removing those pesky wisdom teeth, and everything in between. Green Mountain Dental has a few offers for the DNVR family. Tell them that DNVR Sports sent you. You can get $300 discount for a full orthodontics treatment for new patients. If you mention DNVR Sports, you can get a free set of bleach trays. That's $350 value right there. Can you believe it? For bleach trays and a new patient cleaning, exam, and raise. Lastly, for all the hygienists out there, Green Mountain Dental is hiring. Full and part-time positions are available. They are willing to work with your schedule, as well as offering a great benefits package with healthcare and PTO. To make an appointment or find more information, check out their website, greenmountaindentalgroup.com today. All right, World Cup. We had a banger this morning. Absolute banger. Yaya's favorite player in the world, Luka Modric, advances to the semifinal. Oh, sorry. My favorite player. My favorite player.
Hate it so
much. It's pretty rad, dude. Croatia in the semifinals after making it to the final the year before. A country with roughly the same population as the greater metropolitan Denver area. So that's rad. That's rad as hell. It's super dope. And I am all in on it. I want them to go through the final again. I want them to win. I want a new country to win. I'm cheering them on.
I want that cup out of Europe immediately. Argentina's my last hope.
Yeah, but Croatia, the problem with it is that when it's a European title, it's always a team that's already, like, you know what I mean? It's a world power. It's not, I would never be mad at a Croatia winning a World Cup title.
The thing you got to understand with me, a lot of my pain and hatred comes from how they treated Mexico. And I remember Luka Modric.
Did they smoke them?
No, Mexico beat them. But before the game, Luka said, "Oh, we faced a way better goalie than Memo. We'll beat them easily in 2014."
That's true.
And they didn't. And they apparently didn't get any better.
Didn't get any better. They went to a World Cup final, dude.
No, but I'm saying they didn't get any. They didn't play any better goalie than Memo because they weren't able to beat.
That's actually a pretty fair point.
That was my thing. And I also hate Modric because I'm a Barca fan. Like fuck Real Madrid from the beginning since I was born, and I just hate how good he is, and also his stupid face. He looks like Justin Bieber in 2010.
Jesus Christ!
Strong thoughts, man.
That's
for one guy.
Just one
strength, Duane.
Oh my god. All right, so if we're looking at the bracket right now, the world's wanting of a Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo final is still possible. It's still possible.
Qatar rigged it, man. Qatar rigged it. Telling you this right now. Conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Of course they did.
They want.
Of course they did. But that being said,
that was literally no one that it would be rigged for that.
Morocco beating Spain.
That's not what I want.
Clears the way. It clears the way. What do you want, Duane? Tell me what you want.
Well, mine's broken now. So my want was to see France versus Brazil. And that's done now.
Not anymore. Croatia.
So, yeah, I'm okay with that. But I don't know. I'm just not into the whole Argentina, Portugal. Like, I don't care. Like, I want to see two good teams go at it. I don't care.
Those are two really good teams.
Those are really good teams.
Those are two really good teams.
But that's not what anybody wants.
A lot of people want that.
No, they don't. They want one person versus one person, you know. And,
I want Bruno Fernandes to go far.
I honestly was looking for Enzo Fernandez to really kill people.
No one says I want Argentina versus Portugal. Everyone says I want this guy versus this guy. That's all. That's the story, and that's what people want. It's just I don't care about those two guys. One of them was benched, and his replacement scored a hat trick. You know,
against the Swiss, whatever.
Hey,
Shaqiri fucking.
Who else? Messi
I like Shaqiri too.
Hat trick against anybody, so I'm with Mark too. I was Japan versus everybody once USA was out, so they were fun to watch. But anyway, that's where we're at now.
You guys got any thoughts on France England tomorrow?
Oh, England is going down. It's not coming home.
France wins that one pretty easily.
It will never come home. Number one, ever.
Unless it's our home, then it will come home eventually.
I mean, it is going to a home, I guess, but not the home that is in that scene.
Now you tea sipping little.
All right, so we all think France. What about Morocco, Portugal?
I mean, Portugal's going to roll them.
Yeah.
Portugal rolls
By
with
the
that.
way, I want to take a mini victory lap that I said Morocco would lose to Spain in penalties. And you should take that bet. I did not expect Morocco to beat Spain in penalties. Can we talk about that a little bit? Like,
Let's talk.
I knew Morocco was gonna take into penalties. I was like really sure about that. Like that was I was not afraid about that take. But Morocco actually beating them was insane to me.
Look, I mean, it's the story of
everyone, yeah.
And our guy Andre Simone, if you've been, doing our watch-alongs or our World Cup, post-game shows, they have as good of an attack as any team in this tournament. Period. That is the quirk of this World Cup and international soccer that you're limited by your population, right? And Morocco just happens to have two absolute world-class attackers that they could put on the field at all times, and that changes the math for big teams, right? And it's like US can't find a striker, and they're 350 million people can't find a striker. And it's just one of those awesome quirks. I don't know. It makes me love the World Cup. It makes me love the team building aspect of the World Cup and how to choose the 26 on there. It's so interesting to me.
Joseph, we don't care.
Remember, no one can remember that because no one knew that, Joseph.
Remember the First Nation? What are you talking about?
And we don't need Morocco to recognize us as a nation. We recognize ourselves as a nation.
I'm pretty sure the United States was the first to recognize.
I'll tell you who recognized was those red coats after we kicked them out, dude. I'm sure they recognized then, bud, when they lost.
England recognized it when they were on their asses, praying for mercy.
That's right. Hey, pull up Julio's last comment there. DNVR is going to be hyped as hell tomorrow.
Comment.
It's going to be so sick. I got an email in the DNVR info at the DNVR.com if you have questions. Not about the podcast, about DNVR.
Or you can send him on the podcast too. I'm sure Mitch will answer.
I won't. There's going to be apparently a group of 10 Frenchmen hanging out, 10 Frenchies speaking French in the bar tomorrow. So there's at least going to be one very loud French contingent. I'm sure all the Anglophiles that love England, the dump of a friggin' island.
Wow.
A dump is like really kind way to say it's a shit.
Really? We got a lot of strong feelings. I didn't know they were so
Do you like England? What do you love about England?
What do you like about England? Yeah, I got nothing against England.
England sucks.
Yeah, England is the worst. Also, if you're from England, love you. Don't hate the people, hate the place.
Yeah, shout out all our English listeners.
I like
There's a bunch
England.
of them.
England's fine.
Why? If you like England, you like Seattle, and Seattle gave us Russell Wilson, so you love Russell Wilson by proxy.
Yeah.
And you're the reason the Broncos suck. Way to go, Duane.
Go Bills.
Well, that's true. You root for a team from Buffalo. You'll like anywhere if you like.
You like Buffalo. Put them in hell, man. It's the exact same thing.
Let me look at who's on top of the AFC right now.
Don't care.
That's right,
The Chiefs.
Oh, mute him. Get him out of here.
It's the Bills.
Get him out of here. There we go. That's what's up.
This is the real podcast.
This is the real podcast right here, baby.
But back to World Cup. Who's winning it all? I have Argentina.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's do that. All right, you say Argentina wins it all. They're up 1-0 at halftime right now.
Argentina, dude. I really do believe Qatar's pushing for this final really hard, and I think they want Messi to win it. I think,
of course, they do.
Messi's the GOAT for almost everybody. I want to say almost, and I think it's going to be the perfect way of getting Messi that last championship, and I think it's going to be really fun.
Duane, who do you want to win / have winning /
the whole thing, or just tomorrow?
Both.
I really don't like France, but just because you said it's impossible for France to win, I'm going France.
When did I say it was impossible?
You've said it every time. Nope.
Yeah, it is because they stink.
Nope, can't happen.
France is impossible.
I'm going France just to spite both of you.
I hate you so much. Just kidding.
Go back to Buffalo.
Yeah, go back to Buffalo, Duane. Right now, go. There's the door. I see it behind you.
Where there's a snowstorm and you can't get in.
I mean, man, now that Spain's out, that was kind of I really thought Spain was going to be it going into the knockout stages. Oh, God, it's so tough. I do think one of Messi or Ronaldo get a World Cup. I don't know which one, but I do think one of them gets a cup. Both of those rosters are good. Like, both of those rosters are really, really good. Argentina is crazy fun to watch. I love seeing Liche back there balling out just like he does in the Prem.
Liche to the Rapids?
Oh, my God. Could you imagine? I love watching Bruno. Love it. I don't care. Bring on the United hate. Don't care. It's super fun to watch those guys play at such a high level. Bruno's been amazing. I can't choose between them, but I think one of them gets it. How about that?
Boo! Commit!
Morocco! Let's go! Let's go!
Oh man, I just want it out of Europe. I've said this. I just get it out of Europe. Bring it back home.
Yeah,
dude,
Messi winning would be so sick. Yeah, let's go. Argentina, Messi. There you go. I'll commit right there. Boom, Messi.
He's
done and done.
Yes, Def, because he is the heart of that team.
True.
He will get all the credit for that World Cup.
I love Leao. Obviously, Andre Simone's guy. He's dope as hell. Pepe still being awesome is really crazy. Like, he's like
awesome, dirty. We can talk. That's he committed to his game, and he's the best at what he does.
That's true. All right. So you guys think Morocco wins tomorrow or no?
Morocco versus I'm blanking.
Portugal.
No, it's Portugal.
Okay.
I think Morocco's run is over tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same. Sorry. And
I
think
like Morocco.
I think the French send the English packing just to rub it in that it will truly never go home.
They
ever.
are going home.
And then so that sets up an Argentina, Croatia semi, and a France-Portugal semi. That is, to me, that's pretty much can't ask for much better.
Portugal would be awesome. So much fun to watch.
Yeah, for real.
I
All
think
right.
that Brazil's out, man. It should have been.
I don't. I love it.
It should have been Argentina and Brazil on one side, and then France versus Portugal on the other one.
Spain and Brazil just make those betting odds so fun, right? Like, if you had the right tickets left, you had some really good odds because those teams were still in it. And now anybody buying in on those tickets don't get the odds that you have.
I also took Argentina to win the World Cup at the beginning.
There you go.
So, sticking to
there
my
you go.
guns.
All right, guys, let's plug it up. Yeah, what you got?
Give us a 5-star review anywhere you hear us, whether that be Apple Podcasts. Please don't say nothing if you have something negative.
Yeah,
especially it's about me. I will.
Don't waste your time.
Cry.
Don't waste your time.
Also give it a like. It really helps the algorithm, and make sure to just tell 5 friends about the Rapids. Let's make this into a cult. Tell 5 friends about the Rapids and about the DNVR Rapids podcast. Let's spread the word of the mighty Pids.
I love that. Duane, what do you got?
Love that too. Let's just get people in on the Rapids in Colorado.
Pits.
Invite some friends to talk about the Rapids. Let's go.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Rapids. Let's go.
Okay. Well, get into the DNVR locker. If you want Christmas presents for the homies, for family, for yourself,
for me, for Mitch, for Duane.
I'm a 2X in a t-shirt or a soccer kit for those listening. Get into the locker, the sooner the better, so I can make sure it gets shipped to you in time from the merch cave where I'm right here hanging out. Like, subscribe, do all that. Follow us on Twitter. Say what's up. Bug Tommy Scoops to get on the pod until we get him on the pod. And then, more important than all of that, baby, you know what it is. Up the Pids.